Okay, real quick, what I want to talk about today is a negotiating tactic. One way you could call it a negotiating tactic. You could call it a just a way to interact with others when you're kind of having a little bit of a difficult time interacting with that person. A lot of times this might take place in the workplace, so it's very important to learn how to actually engage yourself with these individuals. It can definitely happen in a financial transaction. For example, if you're purchasing a car, if you're selling a car, anything like that, you can deploy this type of negotiating tactic in that interaction, just to help you really achieve what it is that you want, while at the same time having the other person feel like it was a win for them as well. And that's what I see a lot of times. I see individuals stick to their guns, which is a good thing, but stick to their guns to the point of it being kind of obvious to the other party that I'm standing so firm in this and I'm not going to budge. And it doesn't give any type of leeway. So there's only push, 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 and there's no, give and take, pull involved in that. And when it's done like that, what I've found in my own personal experience and just from seeing other individuals do this as well is that both parties tend to reach sort of a standoff. And then it's like, hey, I'm stuck at this price. It could be for, let's say you're selling your home. Hey, I'm stuck at this price. The individual maybe is meeting you at a certain leverage point where the deal is, more favorable to them, but you're also sticking at, a certain point. Let's say it's, you know, looking like this, the scale, and, maybe they come up to here, and then we're like, no, we have to keep it right here. So a lot of times what we can do is just deploy a little bit of understanding to the other person. Literally just take the time to put ourselves in their shoes and understand really the transaction from their point of view, and not just to think that in our own heads. But to me, I found that, and again, this is just my experience. It may work for some people, it may not for others. But to me, when I think that thought, I actually let them know that I'm thinking that thought. So what I mean by that is, hey man, I know you're trying to just do your job, and you have a certain price that you need to stick at, but you'd be doing me a huge favor if you'd help me out a lot if we can make some kind of progress on that right there and just come a little bit closer. So right there, just kind of showing the understanding that that they have certain guidelines and guns that they need to stick to, while at the same time we are still moving the direction of the transaction more towards a favorable circumstance for ourselves, but at the same time making the other person feel like it's a win as well. And again, the reason why this is so important is because it can also be applied to sales. Even when purchasing a car, that is still a sales transaction on the buyer's end as well, because we need to sell them on the price, or sell them that we're a qualified buyer for that car. You can't just walk in looking, like you've been sleeping on the street, and then walk into a Mercedes-Benz dealership and try to take something out of the showroom. There's a slight sales process in that as well. So every business has a sales process. And this type of communication and engagement with the other party is what leaves individuals feeling like it's a win-win situation. And that's what we want. We want win-win situations. As far as, again, that's just in my personal opinion. I've seen other people who push for, let me just get one up over the other person. But in reality, there's no need for that, because there's more than enough to go around in whatever industry it is that you're in. And when you really start showing that type of understanding towards others, I feel like it's going to work out for you anyway, just because the more you conduct yourself in that type of way, then more and more people are going to be attracted to you and want to work with you. So So that's my little negotiating tactic. Show some understanding and let the other person know that you understand where they're at. You feel what they're going through and understand their point of view, and just find a way to make it work for both of you guys. Because in reality, every interaction, when you think about it, every interaction that you have in the business world and also outside of the business world, in restaurants, in telemarketing, I always tend to find that you really do have control. You personally, meaning I know that I have control over that interaction, the way that it goes, the way that it moves. And a lot of times, even when I know, okay, I should just, move it this direction, I might say certain things and get emotionally caught up and charged in the conversation, business, whatever, and end up moving it towards a direction where nobody wins. The other party who I'm talking to, they're left feeling not as good as they could if I had conducted myself in a certain way. So that's the thing I'm working on being more conscious of, is when interacting with an individual, business, whatever, partner, potential client, whatever it is, just having that understanding of where they're at, and trying at least, making my best effort to pull my emotion out of the response. Because a lot of times if we respond quickly, we respond with our emotions, and there's only one thing we can control in an interaction with another person, and that's ourselves. We can't control the other person. They're a real life human being, and they're gonna act however they want to act, really, and we can't do anything about it. We could control our response to the way that they act, and make our best effort to either resolve it or exit from it or whatever it might be. But the main thing is that we should take, I'm telling myself this, that we should take more responsibility for the way those interactions go. And I know it can be frustrating at times, but we should always also just think of who that other person is. I know it's annoying to get a telemarketing call from somebody when you're sitting down for dinner, but there is a way to just exit from that comfortably and let the other person also maybe give them a little bit of a better day, just thinking of other people by, I'm literally in the restaurant sitting down, let's say, for example, and boom, you get a call. Oh, I don't know who it is. I end up picking it up. Hey, I'm calling from whatever internet service provider, something. Instead of saying, hey man, I'm at dinner right now, don't call me back here, take my number off your list. Which, of course, I understand people get frustrated when these kind of things happen, but there's a more graceful exit to that, which I like to engage in, just because I want the other person to feel better. At least let them feel, okay, not everybody's just slamming the phone on my face. If I can make their day a little bit better, I'm going to make my effort to do that. So, oh, hey man, you know what? Really, I'm okay. I appreciate the call, but I'm actually taken care of right now. But yeah, definitely thank you for reaching out and thank you for the offer. Very simple. And most times people are just going to say thank you, have a good night. And they're not going to push the issue or anything like that. I understand if you're dealing with someone pushy, you may need to make it a little bit more clear. But I'm saying in general, if we just kindly excuse ourselves from that interaction, if it's something we don't want to be in, then just gracefully bow out. And the same way, if it's a problem, let's say it's a coworker that at work that you need to resolve an issue with, then there has to be some way to, okay, maybe we just need to put this down for now because we're both kind of getting a little bit too emotionally charged about this. And there's nothing wrong with that either, because if you really care about your work, you're going to be emotionally charged about it, and you should. If you're not, then it's probably something you really don't care too much about. So if you're involved with something and you're not seeing eye to eye with the coworker, the answer is not always just screw you, I'm out of here. That doesn't really resolve the issue, because when you're dealing with real teammates, building an organization, these are people who you're going to have to learn how to communicate effectively with them and still accomplish whatever the objective is, because they'll continue to come month over month, week over week, day over day. A new objective is going to come up, a new objective, and just take the time to give that person a little bit of your understanding. Again, this is what I tell myself, and have a lot of work to do on, but have understanding for the other person. Let them know, hey, I see where you're coming from. I was thinking about this. If things get too charged up, okay, maybe we could just put it down for now and then come back to it later on. So those are just my thoughts on just like a negotiating strategy of trying to make it, a win-win for both people. So if there's something going on, I want you to feel good about it when we get out of here, and I want to feel good about it when we get out of here. I don't want to make you feel like, oh, I got the short end of the stick, and I don't want to feel like I got the short end of the stick. So, that's just something to think about. Anyways, hopefully that helps. With that, I'll be signing off. Jordan, income over expense, over and out.
On the boulevard in a black car, top drop reaching out for the stars, penthouse view and a private boat, collecting this cash, do it for my folks. See, I come a long way from a dusty road, provincial of the rock, so tech 1987, born in the city of angels, 10,000 miles from my motherland. Look, I want it all and I don't give a damn or really care what they say to us. My mom stayed armed and dangerous, tailor-made down to the cuff, the type of gotta earn her father's trust. In a long walk with progress, learn success is a process.